Tales of
The Fourfold Path,
brought to you by
Dungeons.
and Dragons.
Hi, my name is Nico, and I'm thrilled to welcome you to a slightly different take on the greatest role-playing game ever made, Dungeons and Dragons. I'll be your occasionally benevolent dungeon master for this campaign, which will feature a blend of classic quests and some homebrew content that I've been itching to bring to life based on almost a lifetime of mostly D&D tabletop and virtual RPGs. Starting way back in grade school, sitting with friends around dice, graph paper, and miniatures, playing occasionally through high school and college, but then getting to play D&D again with childhood and newfound friends in more recent years. What I dig about D&D is being able to be creative in a way that brings my friends together, have fun, be nostalgic, and deepen our camaraderie. In fact, I recently wrapped a 7-year homebrew campaign with 5 friends, and I've just started DMing the Out of the Abyss adventure module with them. With me is one of my closest friends and an all-around swell guy, John, who, interestingly enough, hadn't expressed much of an interest in RPGs.
True.
John, why don't you introduce yourself and say hello to our fledgling audience?
Well, my name is John, and I am a lifelong non-D&D player until today.
Now, it's fair to say you're pretty much brand new to D&D, and in a twist on the usual format, you'll be stepping into the shoes of not just 1, but 4 player characters that you'll be preparing with me today.
True.
Talk about diving into the deep end.
Yeah.
So for this Dungeons and Dragons game, John, we're going to be using D&D Beyond,
Yep.
which is a cool website where you can access all of this material that's related to Dungeons and Dragons and different rules and different quests and adventure modules, and where you can create characters and where you're going to be joining my adventure campaign.
It looks cool, and I am set up to create characters.
Yes.
It's pretty straightforward. There was standard, pre-made, quick build, and random. I want to do something that gets me to gameplay as soon as possible. Pre-made seemed like the best option.
It's not going to limit you from later on if you get interested in wanting to either customize or create characters from scratch. You have the capability to do that.
Okay.
And even within this campaign, you can even customize the characters that you choose from the pre-made option.
Oh, wow. There's a lot of cool, very different styles of artwork, I have to say.
The artwork is a great indication the kinds of characters and what they might be good at. Each character, there's the species or the race, and then there's the class or the profession.
Species human, druid is the class or profession. I'm not going to read through all these. What I am going to do is go with my gut. So my gut is telling me, guts and glory, baby. Of these, the one that stands out is actually this one, this human paladin.
Oath sworn holy warrior.
That sounds pretty cool. Okay, this is a lot of information, so I'm just going to pretend like I understand it.
We are going to do a quick tour how to use a character sheet in D&D Beyond.
Yeah, I was trying to get away with never having to deal with a character sheet because it's very overwhelming, and I was hoping that I could just intuitively know that I have certain abilities. Do humans dominate D&D in terms of what people choose mostly?
The short answer is no. Each species also includes different racial or species traits and abilities. So oftentimes players of the game will curate or choose different mixes of like, I like this species, which gives these kinds of benefits and bonuses along with that class. In many D&D games and DMs who run D&D games, worlds that they build or the adventures that they run, cultures and societies in these fantastical lands have all kinds of species in their realms.
These are all humans. Now, if you had just asked, for example, what this is, I would have no idea that was a human. But the fact that these are all humans is interesting to me.
Some of this imagery and artwork may come from, the actual makers of D&D.
Sure.
Now, another option is you can actually upload your own artwork.
It's funny you should mention that. This is what I'm thinking about using here. I do see one that I like. I think this one here is pretty darn cool.
Oh, right on. I'm just going to mention one other thing that you'll see on the character sheet. You'll see character level 1. Levels mean you're kind of gaining in experience and skills, and the higher the level you are, the more cool things you can do.
Oh,
this game,
so I gotta
level
up to do cool things. I gotcha.
Each level kind of has its own set of abilities and feats, but you think of level 1 kind of just starting out in the world.
It's cool because I'm a noob who's got to figure things out. That's the cool factor.
Exactly.
I got to keep my cool.
Crazy situations.
You get more power, you get more skills, you get more speed, abilities, all kinds of cool stuff. But the downside is, in video games a lot, they get easier. But I imagine that there is a difference in D&D because it's about the situations and the creativity you bring to them.
Yeah, this isn't a button mashing repetitive experience. And there's different types of D&D games, and DMs play different kinds of styles and players different kinds of styles. What interests me as a DM is kind of a balanced gameplay experience between tactical combat and also the immersive role-playing experience, which is a story that's unfolding. But it's unfolding based on the decisions your characters make.
As we've been talking, I've been thinking this character needs a name.
Yeah, I think in looking through some of this stuff, it might inspire you to come up with a name or the names of each of your characters as we choose them.
This character sheet that we saw earlier is reflective of everything that we see here, correct?
Exactly. As if you were to start this character from scratch, you would have been filling in each one of those tabs.
I have a name.
Names are Pal.
It's not Z, it's Pal for Paladin. What do we think of that?
I dig it. Well, I'm just imagining Pal just finishing up their training and telling their teachers, I need to go and begin my journey into the world.
Listen,
yes,
Pal.
Imagining, Pal, are you ready yet?
I probably did them an injustice just now by naming them that. That was cool.
Awesome.
That was easy. That was fun.
Yeah.
I like cool, easy, and fun.
For your second character, John, what jumps out at you?
I see Dragonborn, and I think of Game of Thrones. I'm trying not to go in that direction. This sounds really elf wizard. Okay, let me click on that. I gotta see that.
Classic, awesome choice.
Really? Classic? Okay, cool. Okay, so I claimed the character.
So you selected the character. As a quick note, you see defenses, magical sleep. In this particular case, elves have the special ability to resist forms of sleep that are caused by magic.
Imposed so if sleep. Unwanted sleep.
Unwanted sleep. There you go.
I don't want to take a nap. You will take a nap. Let me see if I can find something that pops out to me. I'm seeing one that just looks so...
Yeah, that one evokes something that's...
Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and be as corny as I can with this one, too. I'm going to call them Elwiz.
Elwiz. First name, last name.
Yeah, it's just like the Wiz.
El the Wiz.
El the Wiz. Is this in line with what you would expect someone coming to the game for the first time to be doing, Nico?
Let me put it this way. As I've been playing this game for a while, I think my younger self would have come up with names which I thought were super cool, which years later may have seemed corny. I'm digging the fact that it's kind of evoking. It's kind of evoking. This is what you're bringing to the game, your first experience as we bring these characters to life within the game, how the names will actually become part of their identities and personas.
I'm giving birth to these full-grown creatures with backstories, and I'm giving them names that they're going to be like, why did you name me that? So to complement that duo, make it into a trio.
Yes.
And boom. Okay, this is another one now. A warlock, I guess a male witch.
There's a lot of cool abilities that go with being a warlock.
So tiefling is a species, and obviously I have no idea what that is.
Real quick, a tiefling is a person, character touched by fiendish blood. So somewhere in their family line. Often have horns, tails.
Yeah. I like this one because they're trying to hide who they are by wearing this in a way.
Yes.
But they got those horns sticking out like, I'm going to cover myself up. So this one
came pre-named.
Okay. I got one. By the way, so Lord of the Rings, and also I love Chronicles of Narnia. That's one of my faves. I actually read that
inspiration
as a kid.
from.
I did not read Lord of the Rings.
I have to remedy that.
Casernia.
Oh, that is amazing. For me, it's evoking some connection or reminder of Casernia's infernal heritage.
So it's self-referencing, basically, what you're saying. By naming Casernia is referencing Casernia.
The cowl or the hood, I think what you touched on is kind of cool too, because some tieflings are very proud and they may be living in societies where they don't have to be kind of worried about having to mix in or blend, versus other cities or areas where they might be more rare.
But they might be like the outcasts or unwanted, it sounds like, or not treated fairly, possibly.
Depending on the setting, right?
Ooh,
some other species may not take too kindly to
Okay, well, we'll see
to
how this crew gets
tieflings
along.
who have kind of this demonic or fiendish blood in their heritage or in their bloodline.
So I'm going to go ahead and create the fourth and final.
In talking about compatibility and how species interact with one another, there's also the concept of character class compatibility. So far, this is an interesting blend of different characters that will present different gameplay options for you as you role play each one of them. In some cases in a game where two players are playing the same thing, how they play it, how uniquely they play it can also add a lot of flavor to the game too.
I am trying to pick characters that are vastly different. That is
so
what
far,
I'm doing.
I think they're very complementary.
Very cool. Okay, so after sitting on this screen for a while, this is the guy I'm picking, or gal.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
I don't know why this one looks like Santa Claus to me. There we go.
Oh, right on.
I like the fact that the last one was already named, and I made an effort to come up with something that was respectful of the naming of a magical character. I did accidentally type a Z before. I'm going to use that as a starting point. Meditating, inspiring, churning, thinking. Okay, I got it. Zinstafel.
Zinstafel. Dude, that is an inspired choice.
Is that cool?
Yeah, in a fantasy setting, it really evokes. Yeah, dude. You're like a seasoned D&D player choosing names like that.
Hey, I'm a seasoned name maker. I'm actually very happy. I'm going to read through these. So we got Pal, who's a human paladin. We got Elwiz, who's a high elf wizard. We have Casernia, who's a tiefling warlock, the fiend. And then we have Zinstafel, who is a hill dwarf, cleric, life domain. I understood about 3 of those words. Doom, 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 doom.